So I already did a video on the top 5 shoes of 2025 that I picked up, and also did a video on the top shoes of 2025 that didn't release in 2025 that I did end up picking then. But we're going to do a video a little different today. So we're going to do the shoes that I actually missed out on in 2025 and the ones I want to get coming into 2026. So let's just start this right now. Yo, what's going on, everyone? Matt from Shoe Nation. We're back with another video today. We're taking another break from the reviews I normally do on this channel, so we're going to do another video today. And just like the intro said, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. So we're going to start out for number 5, which is, or actually we're going to do 6 because it was originally going to be 5, but there was a 6th shoe I really wanted to put in there, so I had to do it out of 6. There were 6 shoes that I really wanted to grab in 2026 that I missed or didn't get in 2025, or in one case actually one's gonna be a rebuy. So I'm just so indecisive sometimes about stuff I get, you know, like I'll sell something, then like a few months later I'll be like, man, I shouldn't have sold that, I should have just kept it, and I'll try to rebuy it for at least around that price or under. So that is gonna be the case with one of these shoes, but most of these other shoes are just stuff that I just passed on, I took an L on, or stuff that I'm just hoping in the future I can somehow come upon with a decent price, or maybe even re-release at this point. Most of the stuff I feel like in 2025 is really hit or miss. I think I said this before in one of my other videos that in 2025 a lot of the stuff was either hit or miss, which what was going to sell out and what was not going to sell out. So most of the stuff that I particularly missed out on is stuff that is GR. I'm not going to be putting stuff like getting another pair of black metallic 5s. That's basically going to be almost impossible unless I do buy a pretty used pair, and that's probably still going to be pretty expensive. I'm talking about more of stuff that I can still pick up for at least a reasonable price, and most of the stuff is not, maybe one thing will be hype, but even at that I don't even want to know if I want to even call it hype, because it was hype for like the moment. It was very hype. How long was that? 16 years ago. Very crazily hype. So maybe that's a hint of what it might be. If you know, then you know. But without further ado, why don't we just get into this list right now. So we're gonna start at number 6 and go all the way to number 1. 6 probably the one I'm not gonna be, is not on my radar as much to pick up in 2026, but number 1 will be the most one I want to pick up in 2026, the most anticipated pickup that I have for 2026 from 2025. So let's just do that right now. All right, so start for the list, we do have number 6, which is going to be the Pure Money 3s, which did release on June 3rd of 2025. I'm not going to say the year they released because they're all 2025 release. So it did release on June 3rd, and the retail price was $205, which was a lot for this pair, because if you knew, most of 3s this year have really, or last year really just sat. Most 3s do usually sit, even when they release like the OG colorways, like the black cement 3s that did come out like 2 years ago at this point, those even sat and were around retail when they did drop. Now they're a little bit up from retail, but not really that crazy. I guarantee you, if you go on eBay, you can definitely find some pairs that are pretty cheap and for around retail price, guaranteed you will, that are fairly new. But speaking of the Pure Money 3s, the 3s usually sat last year, and the Pure Money 3s, a lot of people knew that those were going to go to outlets, know that they were going to go on sale, and they ended up doing exactly that. So the Jordan 3 Pure Moneys are going to be a shoe that I'm going to look for. I've already seen pairs for like $100 used. Not particularly looking for a new pair, but a pair at least is still in pretty decent shape, because white shoes do get dirty very easily. So I'm still going to look for at least a particularly clean pair of the Pure Money 3s. And again, $205 was a lot for that price. You've probably seen people online say don't even go for the retail drop because they're going to go under and on sale. And like, again, that's exactly what they did. But this is just a really great shoe, because I used to have the Pure Money 4s, but I don't have those anymore because they did fit too small. The 3s are more comfortable silhouette, and the majority is white on that shoe. There is some, I know I was kind of bashing the shoe because the elephant print was kind of nasty. It didn't look right. Like, it wasn't even like gray. I don't even know what it was. It just looked really nasty, kind of like almost like a tannish gray. It just didn't look good. But I'm still gonna go for this shoe because it is majority white shoe, and I do need one of those in my collection. I don't really have majority white shoes in my collection anymore, so I need to get another pair for that, and that could be a perfect pair. All right, so number 5 for my list, we do have the Flu Game 12, which did end up releasing on March 1st for $210. Now, this was the next Jordan drop that did happen in 2025 after the crazy Black Metallic 5 drop happened. And I remember seeing people online saying, oh, yeah, go, if you see how bad that Black Metallic 5 drop is, wait till you see the Flu Game 12 drop. And it wasn't even that bad, honestly. Like, most people that wanted pairs could get them. There were some lines. But majority of people that wanted these shoes, especially now, can definitely grab them for around retail. I don't think they're going for very much. I'd have to look myself, but I honestly don't see these going for very much higher than what they're already going for. Maybe 250, 260, and that's if you're buying it brand new, which I'm not going to be looking to buy brand new. I'm going to be looking to buy pre-owned. Doesn't even need to have the box, so I'm guarantee I can find a pair in the future for a decent price. What did I say, 210, right? 210, 215 for these. It was a lot, and particularly for me, I just wasn't into buying the shoe at the time. I was like, I wanted to grab it back in 2024 when I saw the previews for 2025, but I was like, you know what, I'm just not gonna grab it when it did come out. I think it was because it was close to the Black Metallic 5 release, so maybe that's another reason, but I can't be too sure on that. It was a while ago. It was the beginning of that was like what, March? Yeah, so it was it after? Man, now I feel like I'm wrong. Was it after the Black Metallic 5s? Was that the next Jordan drop? I don't remember, but it was definitely one of the more iconic Jordan drops after the Black Metallic 5. So I am going to be looking to get these. They are an OG colorway. Michael Jordan did wear them where he did have food poisoning in a game, so that's why they are called the Flu Game. So I'm looking to grab those. They're they're another colorway, like they're like the Cherry 12s. They're just they're red right where the Cherry 12s are, but instead instead of white like the cherry is black right there. So it's a very cool colorway. I do need to grab that shoe. Is it? No, I feel like I got messed up, but it's a very close colorway. It is a black and red shoe, so I do need to get that one in the future for sure. All right, then my number 4 spot. So my number 4 spot is the shoe that I was saying that kind of caused chaos back in 2010 when it originally released. It was 2010 or 2011. Someone sold their car for these shoes back then. Now it's, I don't know, someone's got to be crazy to do that now because they're not going for that much, or you got to be giving away a really nasty car, junk car. But the shoe I'm talking about is that Nike Foamposite Galaxy, which they released on February 21st for $230, which is a lot of money for a pair of shoes. But Foamposites have always really been expensive. You remember when I was younger, they were really expensive. They're still like $220. I don't remember if they're $220. It was really expensive still. But the Galaxy Foamposite was one shoe that I was pretty upset I took an L on. Most of these other shoes, I didn't. I think this is the only shoe I really took an L on, and I actually was trying to grab it, was this shoe. And unfortunately, they did end up reselling for like $100, $130 over retail, and I'm definitely not paying that, especially with the retail price already being $230. It's like $230. There's no way I'm going to be grabbing these for resale. So I'm hoping to find a pair that is pre-owned in my size 11, because this was one of the the Diamond Turf, the 49ers, which I did end up grabbing, was like, those were like 2 mandatory shoes I really wanted to grab in 2025. And unfortunately the Galaxy, I just didn't. I know a lot of people back in 2024 when this was previewed and knowing it was going to come out in 2025, a ton of people wanted these. I don't think I saw one person say I'm passing on these. Like, everyone that wanted these shoes, like, I didn't see one person say they're gonna pass. Most people wanted these because they were a very iconic shoe, and it is one that released a long time ago and never released again. That was super limited then, but they released in a bigger quantity this time. It wasn't, I wouldn't say it was a GR, but it wasn't as limited as last time for sure. That's what I've heard, and I'm pretty sure that's true because the price on these now, it's going over retail, but luckily some sizes are under or around retail, and my size is going down a little bit, so I guarantee that I can definitely find a pair in the future, hopefully no box, and I can just grab this pair used in decent condition for around retail or even under at that point. All right, now for number 3 on the list. We're already on the top 3. So the number 3 on the list, honestly, I can switch this one with the Galaxy. I'll put the Galaxy at probably number 3. Like, again, these all can change depending on how I feel. Sometimes I'd be like, you know what, this one I feel like is better at this time and all that. But this is just a list how I feel right now. So looking at my list right now, I think I'm gonna put those probably at number 3 instead, the Galaxies. And then number 3 one that I had written down is the Nike Foamposite Cough Drop, which they released on September 30th for $240, which is a ton. It's even more than the the Galaxies, which were already very iconic. So you're probably saying like, well, didn't you already have these shoes? Like, didn't you just review these like a few videos ago? And yeah, I did, but I ended up getting rid of them because I just didn't like how they looked. And now I'm just like, man, I don't know if I should have really got rid of them, but it's okay. You know, I'm not stressing over it. These shoes are still going basically for retail. I can definitely find a used pair in the future that's going to be probably 160, 150, around that. So that's what I'll be looking for, even under that. So the Cough Drops were a shoe that did release initially as well back, I don't even know when they released. Let's put it right here, when they originally released, and then they released again in 2025. I remember seeing these pairs. They originally did sell out, but then they went back in stock on some sites, and now I'm pretty sure you can still find them in stock at stores and online. But there's no way I'm paying $240 for these. There's absolutely no way. I would just take the L if that's the case. If they're like, oh, it's $240 or that's the cheapest you're gonna get, I'm just not gonna grab them because that's way too much for them. But I always thought it was a really clean colorway, and I like the name, the Cough Drop, because I thought it did go perfectly with these shoes. So that was one of the Foamposites that was like top 3 for me in 2025. I'm gonna say the Galaxy number 1, the Cough Drops number 2, and the Pearls, those are number 3. Those came out in 2025, right? Yeah, those ones. So those ones are number 3 for me. So all those 3 right there are definitely cops. I actually didn't add the Pearl to the list, but that was a good one. We'll put that in like honorable mention or something, the Pearl one, the Foamposite Pearl. But the Cough Drop is the one that I do want to go back and grab, just because I need a Foamposite in my collection. They're tough. I can just wear them I can just wear them out whenever. And like, again, they're like Jordan 12s. They're basically built like a tank. All right, now number 2 on our list. So down to the top 2 at this point, we do have the Grape 5, Air Jordan 5 Grape, let's put it that way to have more specific terms, which did release on June 21st. Okay, I'm just double checking, and it was at $215 retail price. This was a pair that also I saw people saying, oh, the black metallic 5s were hype, look at these when they release, and those things just sat too as well, which I'm not complaining about at all. I'm very happy they sat because I didn't need those to go crazy hype like the metallic 5s did. So I'm really glad that the Grape 5s ended up sitting, and you can still, I've seen pairs online like right now for $150, practically brand new. They're not fully brand new, but they do look nearly brand new. And I've seen around that 150, 160, 170 price. And if it goes like that, they're probably even gonna go down. I can probably find a pair even cheaper. You know, if I can find one in the 120, 130, it will definitely be a cop. But for now, I need to grab one of those pairs for sure. That was a pair I told myself I was gonna grab, but I didn't end up grabbing it on release day. There was a few pairs like that. That was definitely one of them. And do I regret not going after it? Not really. I really don't. But because I know what it is now, and I'm just like, yeah, I can just go grab a pair if I really need to. But that's how I feel about the Grape 5s. It's a classic OG colorway back from when, I can't remember when it released. I don't remember if it was the 90s or late 80s. I'm pretty sure it was, I don't remember, but it is one of those OG colorways, the Grape 5. So it's a must cop for me. 5s are a really nice silhouette. They're definitely in my top 8, maybe. I'll put them in the top 8. I don't want to think about it right now what the top 5 are, but definitely in the top 8 for sure. So Jordan 5 is a great colorway. And we're not actually done talking about the Jordan 5 silhouette, because number 1 is another 5. All right, so now we're down to our top shoe for 2026 that I didn't grab in 2025, that I hope to grab in 2026. That is, drumroll please, the Fire Red 5. Okay, so the Fire Red 5s did end up releasing on September 30th for $215. Now, these shoes were another OG colorway. Recently they did release, the last release they had was the Silver Tongue. This one is the Black Tongue. The Black Tongue looks way better than the Silver Tongue looked. And it's another Jordan 5 that ended up sitting and didn't really do too much, which is really great. This one I put over the Great 5 just because I will see myself wearing this one a lot more because of the colors. I don't have much that goes with those Great 5s, which is why they're at the number 2 spot. But they're so clean that I just needed to put them on the list in a very high order too. And number 2, they have to be in the top 3 at least. But the Fire Red 5s, I look at those now, I'm just like, damn, those are so clean. Like I need to grab those like probably next or whatever cup I want to grab. They have to be pretty soon because those ones are so clean looking. I really hope they don't go up in price, which is a little bit what I'm worried about because they're so nice. That might just be me, like what I think. I'm just like, oh, they're so nice, they're gonna go up, but I really don't know. You never know. Like Mike Rich said, the hype moves mysteriously, so you don't really know. So these are going to be the shoes that I do want to grab for 2026, and hopefully I can find them. I actually have not looked at used pairs of these. I honestly have been looking more at Great 5s, which is weird because I really should be looking at these ones at the prices and how much they're going for used. But I guarantee you I can get them around 170, 180. Hopefully further down the line, maybe next year after this year, I can actually be able to get them for maybe even cheaper than that in a pretty used pair. Like again, I don't need these to be like perfectly brand new, be spotless. They can be pre-owned and used. I just want at least in like a 7 out of 10 condition or so. So these are going to be one that is going to be on my radar for this year. Hopefully I can get them down the line. If not, it's all right, but hopefully I can. And that's really all the shoes that I'm looking forward to trying to grab this year or the years or next year or whenever. Hopefully I can be able to get at least some of these, and maybe I'll come back to this video, see how I feel about it. If I ever do get it, maybe I'll regret trying to get back some of these. You never know. But that's all I gotta really say. Let me know what shoes from 2025 you didn't end up grabbing that you do want to go for in 2026 or years down the line. Just let me know. I want to hear about it in the comments. Thanks for watching as always, everyone. Matt from Shoe Nation here. Bye.